We have Shae here now. I'm going to go ahead and record. If you have a question, please raise your hand.
Recording in progress.
And we'll go with questions on Zoom first. So anyone with a question, please raise your hand. Steve, go ahead.
Hi, Shae. I want to ask how's the team feeling? It was a tough result last week. Now you're coming back at home. You have a little extra time to go over everything that you want to kind of improve on in this game.
Yeah, the team's feeling better. We can't say that we were pleased with last week's result, especially against them, because everyone knows that we hate them. But I will say we went through, a lot of just steps, just a lot of film, a lot of questions, a lot of units, but then came together. So we kind of were like, hey, we're going to spend all of today to really dive deep about it the day after we got back. And then we were kind of like, hey, emotions now aside, drop it. And now it's Chicago focus. So now we're excited for the game tomorrow. And yeah, I think we have a lot of good solutions in play. So I know everyone's definitely now like turned a new page for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Jackson?
Yeah, Shae, you just mentioned solutions in place. A, what did you see in that game in Portland? And B, what are the solutions without giving away too much of the tactics? Just how do you fix what went wrong?
Yeah, I think it's just like trying to, be flexible and adapt to different styles. I know at least in my position in Portland, I'll talk specifically just like what I saw was I feel like there's a lot of times where I was getting a little bit too wide as a three back that we had. So a lot of those fall into play of like, then was I able to find Jess in a pocket or Magdalene on my side, or did I have to switch it around and we go out the other way? Whereas in the second half, especially when Lou came in, she stayed more down and narrow with me as when I moved central. And I know that helped us get out a lot then through our sixes, because then they were marking Jess more, and then we're marking our wing backs in the runs in behind. So I think taking that and just adapting to this week, we've seen Chicago play multiple formations these past couple weeks, especially. So I think just figuring out how we can attack both of those and going about it. And we know then in the moment we have seen both of those formations on film. So if they do either one against us, I think we have some good plans of how to solve it in the moment.
And you mentioned getting Lou back. What does that mean just in that game, and what will it mean maybe whether she's a starter or not? What does it mean to have her back in there on the field?
Amazing. I personally, love her to death. I think she brings such a comfort, obviously being an OG and a captain of this team. I think she's worked so hard to get back from her June period of everything going on, and it definitely was like a sense of, okay, I can do this, we got this, let's take a breath. So I know she brings comfort to me, but I know she brings comfort to a lot of people on the team, and not only her coming in against Portland with the knowledge she's had through all the years against them, but just in general, her vision of soccer. She's been helping so much on the sidelines, especially with me and my positioning. So it was just nice to have her back out there 100%. So, and I know we all felt that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackson. And then back to Steve.
You were mentioning kind of defensive flexibility. This year, I think the Rain have probably shown more defensive shapes and lineup options than ever before. You've been fullback some, you've been center back more often. You've had Sophia on your left, you've had Sophia in the middle next to you now in the last two games. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about kind of how you think that is, how it feels for you to know that you have to kind of keep in mind multiple options and be adaptable, and how the team is kind of furthering that defensive growth.
Yeah, I think it's a huge strength and a big advantage. I think it's one thing that, our team knows we have a positive in that direction, is just because we can move a lot of people in a lot of different positions back there, and people are comfortable to go in a lot of different positions back there. Like you said, like me being wing back to this spot to the center one last week. And then same with like some of the friendlies being center, and then like she's played the other right outside bit, and then she's wing back, all of it. I think the flexibility gives us a real advantage for a lot of teams, because I think then we're a little bit more unpredictable with who could go in there and still get the job done. And I don't think from any of us in the back line ever look at someone who gets thrown in there in a new spot on a different day and is like, oh, weird, this is going to be interesting. I think everyone's like, we know that they know how to execute the role that they need to, and everyone's comfortable with everything. So I think it just adds to a lot of our gameplay, and I think it's exciting, and I think it's really useful, especially when things get emergency defending in games, and you're kind of all over the place and everyone's in different positions. We're like, we've done this before. So I think it really does help. So
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
And then Jeff?
You talked about having a day where you really focused on it. Moving on, this team has had a tendency to be pretty resilient and pretty steady. You haven't had a couple of games, very many reasons to have to step back and really evaluate. How valuable is it that this team has been able to stay focused on the immediacy this season as opposed to spending so much time having to look backwards?
I think it's been huge, especially this year in comparison to like last year, I guess. It's like last year, it's not that it wasn't the same and that we didn't take any of the time to really process and like work through things, but I think this year it's just an instant like, okay, we're kind of like, we have a win, then we have a loss. It's like, how do we get on a steady track? And I think it's just been a big jump for us to be able to be like, hey, come in. I know for me, there's a lot more people from all different ages, all different roles and responsibilities asking questions and learning a lot of different roles and responsibilities. So I just think in general, it's been, huge for us to be able to just like come in, know what needs to be done, know what needs to be talked about, and then kind of instantly move on to the next week and take those lessons into the next week. Not saying it wasn't a thing last year. I think I've seen a lot more growth in everybody this year for kind of taking responsibility for that standard that we have.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. And then Jackson?
Yeah, Shae, you mentioned Chicago a few minutes ago, and that game in June where you came in the 21st minute. What are your recollections of that game, how they played? There was that couple minutes, obviously, where they got those 2 goals, but just what do you remember from that game specifically?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, at least from the sideline when the goals happened especially, were just a lot of the over-the-top balls, getting in behind to Ludmila. I think that's one thing. We definitely just need to understand that the space in behind is a lot more dangerous, and that's, a key aspect for tomorrow. But then also just coming into the game and finding where the spaces might be. I think, again, like I said, we've seen them in 2 different formations, so I think knowing where the space is depending on the formation they come out with is going to be a big key to tomorrow as well. And I'm just excited. I know, it was definitely a fight to come back to get the 2-2 draw when we were there, but I'm hopefully excited that we can come out with a clean sheet and a win tomorrow at home. So especially since it did feel like the second half of that game back in June felt like we did take what we needed to talk about at halftime and really implement that to finish strong in that game. So,
That game was funny because, you don't score until the 87th minute.
Yeah.
It feels like, it's just sort of, you even could have gotten the winner 3-2 even after, Jordan scored. What was the mentality on the field? What was the kind of the communication, the vibe like, right after, say, Lynn's goal? And how did that kind of transform you guys there over that final 10 minutes?
I think it's huge. I think anything like that gives us another big 5 moment in a game of just like the next 5 minutes is we really bunker down. We really think about how we want to go about this. It's like have some composure, but keep maybe like a high press going, or do we drop in and just like absorb whatever it is depending on the score line. And I think after her goal, we were like, we can do this. I always like the saying, it takes 5 seconds to score a goal. So you're never out till it's out, and you're never done till the final whistle blows. And I think this season especially, I've loved seeing that mindset from this team. I think all of us have had the mindset this season that we can come back from anything and we can score a goal in any minute of the game. And I think the games that we've played in yet this season have really showed that too. So it's exciting that I do think that that goal helped us get another burst of energy and be like, hey, we got time still. So I just know that then it makes us have hope for any game that we go into and any adversity we hit, we know we can come back from.
Thank you.
And then Steve?
One last one for me. Shae, tomorrow the team is honoring the 85ers in the Queens match. It probably feels like a long time ago before you were born, but in really kind of a short history of having women's soccer really be a thing in the United States. I wonder if you could reflect a little on how much progress you feel like has been made so far and what you feel like there still is to do that your generation can kind of impact.
Yeah, I just feel like, I know I've said it in a blurb before, like in preseason about this game. We're all so excited to have them here. Not only are they just like trailblazers for the game and everything, and I think the path they've paved for us has been like unreal and unimaginable what any of us would have ever thought people had to go through to get to like where I'm at playing in this league. So it's like an honor to continue to like pave that path for a lot of younger generations, because I know I'm 100% to say I'm grateful and thankful that they've done all that work for us, and I know it's not done yet. But I know we're excited to have them, and not only that, but I know Seattle just has a big history of a lot of legends, and a lot of these, yeah, like U.S. players, a lot of these big stars, and I just think Seattle has a history for it as well. So it means a lot more, I think, being in having it here and having this Queens match here for them, versus any other place or area. I think this is like the home for them to be a part of that. So we're really excited to host them, and hopefully we can give them a good game. But yeah, like I said, the work isn't done, and it's just exciting how young a lot of players in the league are too. And I think it just means that we're doing our job, and yeah, they've done their job, and to continue to have the league grow and just allow a lot of those younger players to feel like they can accomplish anything in this league and they can speak up about anything in this league. So I'm excited to see where it continues to go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Alrighty, thank you everyone. We'll have Laura here in a second.